Hello YouTubers. You're looking at my 2003 Harley Davidson Electric Glide Classic Ultra, or some words in that order or a different order. But anyway, it's got a new long block. Well, it's a few years old now, but the bike has 112,000 miles on it, and virtually everything's been gone over. The bike had been repainted by an employee from Harley Davidson who worked for them for almost 30 years, was their master painter, had retired in York, Pennsylvania. Everything was shipped out to York, Pennsylvania, and the bike was repainted and badged. But the reason why it's apart here is because I had yet another stator failure, and I did a little research and I learned that these stators are problems on this series bike that uses the single phase stator and the 45 amp output, for the Ultra. The problem with the stator is that it's so powerful that they use rare earth magnets, and so this series bike with that rotor requires a special tool because the magnets are so powerful. So why would I change it? So what I did was I upgraded to a three-phase system, and I noticed that the rotors were less, the magnets were smaller, the coils were smaller, although there were more of them. There were more poles on the stator, and I called Cycle Electric, who supplied the kit, and I asked them, what the deal was. I mean, was this supposed to be more powerful? It's a 50 amp system. I actually got to talk to an engineer there, and he explained that the cause of the repeated failures of the single phase system is that it's so powerful but fewer pulses that it just cooks the regulator. It can't handle it. And so even in 2006 and 2007 on most models, Harley Davidson went to the three-wire system, which doesn't pulse as hard, is gentler on the regulator, and that's basically what this upgrade is, except that it fits my year bike. So Cycle Electric makes the regulator. Let me show it to you. It's a handsome looking unit, and it's powder coated and big. It's bigger. It has more fin area. Now, down below, you'll see I have a Jag fan boosted oil cooler, and Jag supplies on request, as an option, a standoff with a regulator, so it sits the regulator up a little higher, and gets it out of the from being blocked by the oil cooler. So hopefully that won't be a problem, because Cycle Electric warns about having a low-mounted oil cooler. So I also had an oil leak. Now this is a 6-speed transmission, Screaming Eagle. So it's Harley Davidson Screaming Eagle, but it's not the cruise drive. The first 5 gears in this transmission are the exact same ratio, 5th gear being 1-to-1, and 6th gear being an overdrive. So that meant that some of the parts are different. The seals, some of the seals are different seals. So the main shaft seal is different, but the inner race is the same. And of course, I had the walk-in problem where the inner race here walks in so close that you can't get the tool behind to pull it off. And I had bought a very special tool from Jameco, which allows you to make an 80,000th grind this way, and not diagonally. And a lot of mechanics will make the grind diagonally to a depth deep enough so that you can hit it with a chisel and crack it. The problem is that, well, you could take a chance of going too deep because it has to be deep enough. The Jameco tool is only 80 thousandths deep, and then they have a special collar that clamps around it, so sort of like the way a connecting rod is bolted together. But one of the sides has a pin that goes across, and so that gets into that groove, and then you put the pulley on. It also comes with an installer tool, and actually, because I was doing all the seals behind this pulley, the installer tool for the inner race, I was able to make an extension so I can install the seal that goes behind there. The what they call a fifth gear seal, but it's a 6-speed transmission, so it's really an input-output seal because it goes between the input shaft and the output shaft. So now I've got it all buttoned up. I did the correct procedure for torquing. This is a lock plate. I don't know. Doesn't look like the one in my service manual. So maybe when the dealer installed the 6-speed trans, maybe they changed it. It's one piece, whereas all the ones that I have seen are not one piece. That this plate basically just slides around, the hex nut. So, and this has many more holes so that you can get more precise alignment. I don't know. I think it's great. So I'm at the point now where I have to do the inner primary reseal. So on this series bike, it doesn't have bolts with O-rings built in, although I wonder why that couldn't be added. But nevertheless, you're supposed to dab RTV around all the bolt holes and between the the interface faces, and then I'll button that up, and new seals in the primary. There's a starter seal and a bearing seal in the primary case, and then it's all going back together, and it'll be complete. So I hope this helps anybody, or it's just entertaining information, and thank you for watching.